Bigfoot Center Museum, Skulls and Hands Museum Displays. Now this is Cliff Barackman's museum, North American Bigfoot Center. They have two display cases which compare skulls and hands. They're comparing the Gigantopithecus skull, even though I don't think Sasquatch are Gigantopithecus. That's just me, though. But they're comparing it to a gorilla skull and a human skull, and also Homo floresiensis, the Hobbit, and Paranthropus boise, which that may turn out to be the actual Sasquatch. That may be what Sasquatch are. And then you have your hand prints. Here's your gorilla, orangutan, chimpanzee, human, bonobo, and possible Sasquatch. And that particular hand cast was one of two collected in Henry County, Kentucky. Interesting. But these photos were taken almost a year ago. And apparently that display is still there at the North American Bigfoot Center. I would love to go to that place eventually. Oh, by the way, this was from July. This is from late July. Interesting. So apparently that hand cast is not from the Pacific Northwest. It's actually from the Deep South. Very cool, I think. The first Yeti report. The Yeti, as every schoolboy knows, was introduced to the outside world in 1921 when Charles Howard Berry, leader of the first Everest reconnaissance expedition, reported a series of footprints in the Lakpa Pass. Although he thought they were made by a loping gray wolf, his Sherpas identified them as belonging to a Meto Kangmi. To this, the Calcutta journalist, I should say Henry Newman, not Harry Newman, gave the whimsical and no doubt very inaccurate translation of abominable snowman, thereby casting a cloud over the issue. After all, logic tells us that the presence of an unknown primate in the Himalayan wilderness cannot be ruled out, but how can anyone take a snowman serious, especially an abominable one? Thank goodness Howard Berry provided a couple of rival names, one of which was Yeti. There had been previous reports of footprints and of the legend which had not caught the public's imagination, but as far as can be ascertained, the earliest reference was by B.H. Hodgson. I wonder if he's any relation to Al Hodgson, the British resident at the court of Nepal from 1820 to 1843. 1832 saw the publication of the first volume of the Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal, which you can read here. Hodgson's contribution was at pages 335 to 348 untitled On the Mammalia of Nepal. He apparently hired shooters to obtain specimens. In the article on monkeys on page 339, he provides a brief footnote. My shooters were once alarmed at the Kachar by the apparition of a wild man, possibly an orang, but I doubt their accuracy. They mistook the creature for a Kakademon, or Rakshas, and fled from it instead of shooting it. It moved, they said, erectly, was covered with long dark hair, and had no tail. Very fascinating stuff, and they may have thought it was some sort of a demon, which is what Rakshas are supposed to be, or alleged to be, I should say. Quite fascinating, you have to say. Raises an eyebrow, that's for sure. Finally, Bigfoot photographed by game camera in Missouri. An intriguing photo snapped by a game camera in Missouri shows what appears to be Sasquatch standing in a creek. The remarkable image was submitted in a report to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization by Will Boving, who explained that it was captured on the afternoon of August 20th on his property near the city of Poplar Bluff. After receiving an alert on his phone that the game camera on his land had taken a picture, he pulled up the photo, seen on the left below and isolated here, and was immediately curious because I could see something huge standing in the middle of the creek. Unfortunately, by the time he could turn on a live view of the area, the sizable bipedal beast had departed the area. Now, this guy did something that we have been attempting to drill into people. Make a comparison video or photo. And he did just that. This right here is the alleged Sasquatch. This is a comparison photo with a 6 foot tall person. 6 foot tall man, I would imagine. So, someone actually did something they were supposed to do. And we have this alleged Sasquatch on the left. And for comparison, we have the 6 foot tall person. Standing in the same spot, by the way. We have been encouraging people to do something like this. And fortunately, this person did just that. Now, Matt Moneymaker says, trail cam photo of a Bigfoot-like creature on private land, August 20, 2025. It is not a clear image, enlarged and cropped, but it is authentic and shows the size of these creatures compared to humans. Well, I just hope that Matt Moneymaker has not put his foot in his mouth and has declared something Sasquatch when it could be CGI or AI. I do sincerely hope that. Not saying it is AI, but there's always that possibility. And here's the location. This is Poplar Bluff, Missouri, which is south of St. Louis by quite a few miles. So that's the location of the town. Interesting. And I'm glad somebody actually took the step to make the comparison. Is it a Sasquatch? We don't know. It could very well be. And that's going to do it for this week. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, but I always mean it. And I will continue to do this as long as you guys want me to. And for nearly 11 years now, I've been doing this in video podcast form, or vodcast form. Now I will continue to do it because I enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun, and it gives me pleasure. It really does. I enjoy doing it. Hope you guys enjoy it too. And I hope you check out my special Cryptid-Corner about the passing of Dr. Jeff Meldrum, which I put up last week. It's very sad. It's unfortunate that that happened, of course. Because he certainly was a giant in the Bigfoot community. No question about that. No pun intended, by the way. So, until next week, y'all be good or be good at this HBM's Cryptid-Corner.